yesterday was 4 weeks in surgery, so today I'm going to be a master chef. Rachel's brought me a bunch of stuff so I can make things in bed, and it's been real handy having access to everything like right here. So I'm going to just try and show what it's like trying to do things, because everything has to be like move one thing, then the next thing, then the next thing. And one of the things that I've been trying to do is eat enough food. The surgeons had said about trying not to lose weight. I can't get weight obviously, but I was eating about 4,500 calories a day. So we've been, when I say we, I mean Rachel and I have been trying to make sure I still eat that. There is a scoop in here. I was about to pour it everywhere. That would have been fun, wouldn't it? The recipe for this that I found, it said about using 250 grams of oats, but I don't know if that's going to be too much and go everywhere. So if it doesn't work, then I'll just make a mess. So today, I think what my plan is going to be, depending on what Rachel's able to help me with, is I'm going to make this, then I'm going to get dressed properly, then I'm going to do some exercise, and then, since the weather's nice, I think I'll go out for a wheel on the drive, if you don't mind moving the stuff so I can, and then I'll come back in. If you can bring me like the stuff to get washed and things, I won't be filming the stuff to get washed. And then I'll be starting work for the day. And then that'll be it really. I'll try and film a few of the bits. I could probably set this up in the drive whilst I'm wheeling and talk nonsense. So then I'll need to put this on charge. With the exercise stuff as well, I'm going to use the dumbbells that are down here and do my knee stuff. So the brace, I think I'm still going to have it set to 20, and then next Wednesday I'll change it to 40 or 50. I think 50 degrees. No, 30 degrees. Go 20, 30, 40. And so on each week, just for one side. And then I think the week after is the week when I can do my other side. But I think I've also got my next appointment at the hospital that day. And what I want to do, because I still don't know, is find out exactly what they did on my left leg. Because I know they've reattached some stuff, but I don't know how. I don't know if they've used sutures, I don't know if they've used pins, I don't know if it's transosseous, which means like screws into the bones. I don't know if it's just sutures through muscle and tendon. So I want to find that out before making decisions about how fast things should or shouldn't be. Because if it's screws through the bone, then you don't want to do the rehab too fast, but the risk you run is of things stiffening up. If it's just sutures through muscle, you can't really let it rest for too long. It will stiffen up the muscle, but that's not so much of an issue. So I want to know exactly what it is before then making decisions, because something I was talking about yesterday was I do seem to adapt from exercise and stuff quite quickly. So I don't want to start doing rehab stuff and be like, cool, loads of progress, and then think everything's fine, and then ending up snapping something because of the risk of re-rupture. So the right hand side is just a straightforward tendon repair. The risk of re-rupture of that is highest in the first 6 to 12 weeks. So that's like a known risk, because I still don't know exactly what happened with the left hand side. I don't know how long that's going to take. So yeah, this is, what was I talking about? Nutrition. That was the whole point of this. Are you listening to what I'm saying, or just like background noise? I think that's how, at least the people I've spoken to, that's how they watch these videos, is to just have them on as background noise when they're doing other stuff. I just keep, yeah, I'm just being everybody's friend. Keeping the void away, yeah. Keeping the abyss of lonely life. I know, like, other coaches have said they'll put this on whilst they're writing programs. Like, I mean, you're just copying my programs. It's definitely not inspirational. I think it's just, yeah, it must just be the background noise. Because different accents to different people as well can be soothing, can't they? You know, like some accents are really grating, then to someone else it could be super, super calming. I don't know if I've got these ratios wrong, to be honest. It's very wet.
A lot of honey.
So
That's so much. Why are you winning the food?
So I also don't have any pants, and yeah, I'm winning the poo. So, right, because my phone is filming, I looked up this. So this is oats, honey, and peanut butter because I need to eat more carbs and I wanted more fibre, but I wanted stuff that doesn't need warming up, so I can just have it. Anyway, it said 1 cup of peanut butter, 3/4 a cup of honey, and 3 cups of oats. But you know how with recipes you have to read someone's life story to get to the end? So then I googled what 1 cup weighs. 1 cup is about 250 grams, but then it's different for different stuff. So 1 cup of peanut butter, 250 grams. 3/4 of a cup of honey, 255 grams, and 3 cups of oats, 240 grams. So I was like, I'll just do 250 grams of each because it's basically that. But it's very, very wet.
Oh my god.
So I'm going to mix it up. I might just have to put more oats in.
Yeah.
And I've got the vanilla extract and I've got some dairy-free chocolate in. That's going to what?
That's not going to soak up all the...
Do you not think?
You mixed it into... Can the camera see how gooey it is?
So now it doesn't look that gooey. Now I've started mixing it. You don't have to. I don't know. Sometimes when I do these videos, I'll start talking and end up just rambling for 20 minutes without any extra prompts or anything. And then sometimes I just have no idea and just like, what are words? So yeah, you can still talk. It's not that gooey. It's not bar-like consistency. I tried to find one that was where you didn't need to cook it, so that it would be just one less thing to think about. Are you likely to have any of this?
I'm not sure.
Are you bothered if I have the spoon in my mouth and then carry on?
No.
Fine. So, anyway, probably shouldn't talk like that. Anyway, this will be the first time I've made food for myself, won't it? Even though you had to.
Since your accident.
Since my accident, not in my life. I can't get the lid off this. Oh wait, there we go. Yes, I can. How much vanilla extract is normal amount of vanilla extract then?
Like a drop. A cap at the most, I think.
Full bottle going in.
No, it's very strong. Oh, so much.
No, it wasn't. Vanilla's great though. I've got a bunch of random clips and videos and stuff that I need to sort out of all the things that have happened. That's why I took a picture of just this plain board before I started, so that I was like, right, that's a cut-off point of where this video starts instead of it being another old one. This is only going to be like one meal. Maybe not. What will it be? I think if I had a fifth of this, is about 600 calories and basically just carbs. There you go.
Oh,
That's more reasonable.
Consistency now, that might set.
Yeah. Well, if it won't set, I can at least just eat it. Do you think these chocolate button things, mix them in now or put them on top of it?
What do you want?
I don't know. I'll stick them on top of it. Right. So this is MasterChef. I wonder if this will. I don't know. It's 10 minutes long so far.
The video.
Yeah.
Alright.
And all I've done is sit here mixing up ingredients, talking nonsense. The next part of the video will be whatever the exercise is going to be, and whatever the rehab is really not very exciting at the minute. Oh yeah, so back to the rehab and stuff, and the reason for the injury. So on my right hand side, because it's like a basic quad tendon repair, I definitely know that. There's loads and loads and loads, well, not loads, there's about a dozen different rehab protocols. So what I've done is look at them all and basically combined them into a list of what makes it the least aggressive form of rehab for all of them together. And one of the things that's included is patella mobilization. So basically moving your kneecap manually around a little bit. So that's something that I have been starting to do. Barely moves, like a millimetre or two, before it's uncomfortable. But I don't know, like I say, what's going on with the other side. So I don't want to start doing anything like that. And then, although in my plan from the surgeon, they'd said about changing my brace to 45 degrees, I don't want to just go straight to 45 degrees. Based on how 20 degrees feels, I do think I could go further, but I don't want to. I would rather the rehab took 6 months longer than have to have the surgery and delay everything again by 6 months or whatever. Like, you don't get an award for any of this, definitely, and definitely don't get any awards for any re-injuries to it. That's when I had the injury to my pec. I think I know the reason why I ended up, after tearing my pec, then tearing my bicep, and then having to have the reconstruction, is because I did too much stuff too soon. The difference being, that time I was younger and stupider. That's the real word. And I didn't know any better, and I also didn't get any. I wasn't given any rehab or anything that I should do. I wasn't given any guidelines. I met the surgeon, had the surgery, didn't see the surgeon afterwards for like 6 weeks. Didn't have any kind of rehab program or anything. Went back to see the surgeon, took the arm out of the sling and was like, basically get on with life. And then my bicep went snap from not using it for 6 or 7 weeks or whatever it was. So it was not surprising that it didn't really work. And then as a consequence of that is why my shoulder, I fractured the bone on my glenoid fossa, which is like, if you imagine like a golf ball on a tee, the tee is the part where your humerus sits like that in there. I think only 30% of it was left because it just kept fracturing off. It kept dislocating, and that's why there's the scars across here. Anyway, in hindsight, I mean, the surgery failed anyway because it was left for too long, but that's a whole other story of more inefficiencies, let's just say. But in hindsight, even just for the pec rehab, I should have done more rehab, but I didn't know any better at the time. So that's why I say I'd rather go slower with this. And given that I'm not old, but I'm 31, and so you don't quite bounce back as fast as you did when you were 18. I just don't want to have to do it again, to be honest. So yeah, nearly done with the baking. It's not really baking, is it? The mixing of ingredients. I thought that this would be a good way to have more calories, like basically ready to have, but clearly this is just taking forever. One last thing to do. So this is what I mean if you need to find somewhere for everything. So my current setup, this is actually pretty nice. I've got a commode next to me there. I've got a set of drawers here. I've got like a unit there. I've got a table behind me there for my CPAP machine, and a bunch of stuff down here on the floor. You are on top of a tripod, which is stood on top of like a puffy, like a footrest thing. I forgot to spray the greaseproof paper. Probably shouldn't need to do that, given that it is supposed to be non-stick. And then my leg braces are just there, so I take them off when I wake up, as long as I'm just sat still. But then I'll put them back on when I'm going to exercise and stuff. So last thing to add is going to be some chocolate buttons. I'm weighing stuff because I'm tracking. I'm not tracking foods to be like, I have to hit certain macros for all of the macros, but like, I'm trying to make sure I get at least 200 grams of protein, because like I said before, the recommendations for post-traumatic surgery, post-repair surgery, is 1.5 to 2 grams per kilo. I was 100 kilos-ish before the accident, so that's 200 grams. I would generally suggest for my athletes for normal training, 2 to 3 grams per kilo anyway, usually 2 grams per kilo, but the 3 is like the upper range, more for like preference and satiety and stuff like that. So tracking food to try and make sure I do get that much in, and then to get enough calories. And then, to be fair, Rachel's been mostly keeping on top of making sure I'm eating enough fruits and vegetables and stuff. So we've also got 43 grams of buttons. Let's make it 50 grams, because then everything divides by 5. There we go. I'll eat these ones. It's all going in the same place. Voila. We have the oat bars. So, I'm going to stop this. Get Rich to come get this. Get Rich to take this duvet off. Put some clothes on. Bottom half. And we'll be back in a sec. Right, so I have done that stuff. Rachel has taken the duvet away. Now I want to do some exercise. So I've got, I don't know if you can see, I've got a 10 and an 8 kilo dumbbell out. Here's the scars as well. There's one leg. There's the other. I've got those dumbbells out from underneath the bed. This is really awkward to set up. So I've got the dumbbells out from under the bed, and then the next thing is going to be, I want to get the other ones out. I get real out of breath real easy at the minute. So what I was thinking is I'm just going to do some leg rehab and pressing first in bed, and then I'm going to get into the chair instead, because with this being leather, like plasticky leather stuff, this can just be wiped down easily if I start to get a bit sweaty, whereas the bed sheet would then have to be changed again. It's usually getting changed like every other day, but I don't want to make it more unnecessarily sweaty than it already is. And I was just thinking of where I should put these dumbbells, because I got them out prematurely, but they can go on here, can't they? Because I was thinking they can't, but actually, if I weigh, well, I weighed 80, I think it was 86-ish when I left the hospital, and I sit on this, so 2, an 8 and a 10 kilo dumbbell are not going to be a problem, are they? So I'm going to do some leg rehab. I'm just wondering how the best way is to move you. So I'm only doing it on my right leg, but I'm still doing some other exercises for both legs. Now, I've seen people have this injury and be on their feet straight away. That seems to be more of a common thing in America than it is in the UK. I don't know why. Maybe it's just to do with their system. Maybe it's because of the way you have to pay for healthcare over there, whereas here it's through the NHS. I don't know. But anyway, I won't be. My ankles are still sore anyway from the accident, but not too bad. I've actually got quite a lot of DOMs from, not yesterday. Yesterday was Sunday. Saturday, going out on the wheelchair for, what was it, about 3 hours it ended up being. Granted, it wasn't all doing something, but my arms, my triceps, biceps, pecs are sore from that. And although soreness isn't the only proxy for any kind of adaptation, it's a nice feeling after not having it for a while. So I'm going to just try and move you so you can see what I'm doing here. So I can shuffle myself around, Can I zoom out anymore? No, that's max. I might drop you. Oh yes, did it. You alright, Ray?
Yeah, thanks.
You come to ask me anything, or are you just coming through?
Just coming through.
Can you do me a favour, please? When you come past there, can you just straighten that up a little bit? Because at the minute it's just a crotch shot.
That's what you're really doing.
Yeah. There we go. Perfect. Oh.
How do I make it stay there?
Oh, so on that bit, that joint there, like sort of straighten that out. Yeah, but not quite that far.
Too much forehead.
Too much forehead. Bit further down.
Just the tip.
Just the tip. Bit further. Oh no, that'll do. That'll do. Perfect. Thank you. I'll just move. Actually, you could just move the whole thing back a little bit for me. But I couldn't move it with the bin and with the foam roller being there. That'll do.
You sure?
Maybe rotate it like this way a little bit.
Towards you.
Yeah, other way. I'm definitely leaving all this in.
So you can see all of you.
So you can, yeah, and mostly my leg.
I see. You should have told me what you wanted to be in shot.
Ideally, me walking. Yeah, that's good. That's fine. Thank you. Appreciate it. What was I saying? Rehab. I'm going to do my leg rehab. I keep forgetting what I'm doing as well. I think my brain also might have been operated on. So with the rehab stuff, I'm just writing down the simple stuff that I've done. There's some stuff like this that I'm just doing all day, every day anyway. Just moving my ankles as much as possible. It's like barely even a 1 out of 10. I mean, my scale of pain has changed considerably since everything that happened. So I've had kidney stones. I've torn my pec, I've torn my bicep. So it's not like I've not experienced pain in the past. But the worst pain was after the operation. I woke up and I thought they were still operating on me. It was nerve-related pain, and that was horrendous. But that went after maybe an hour or so of like various medication. Cat's losing her mind again. I think every time Rachel leaves, she's not really like come near me since I've come back home. Don't know why. Anyway, so that redefined what a 10 out of 10 pain was for me, and I would say kidney stones in comparison are like a 3 out of 10. So I'm not weight bearing on my feet yet, obviously, but I'm still trying to use the muscles somewhat, but not in any crazy amount. So just using these bands to do like some real light stuff, and it's all really, really low volume. I mean, like if you think I was normally doing anywhere between 10 and 20,000 steps a day, so like the contrast of that to now, like my legs feel like they're tiny. So I'm literally just microdosing is probably the best way to describe it. None of this exercise is going to be enough to actually cause significant change or hypertrophy. It's more just to try and avoid atrophy, so avoid the muscles getting even smaller and frailer, ready for when I can do stuff again. So just trying to keep moving as much as possible. It hasn't been like this the whole time of the rehab, because like especially when I was in hospital, so there was that nerve pain, and then after the op I still had nerve pain rather than just surgical pain. So I was being managed by the pain team rather than by the doctors on the wards. So what that meant was that I was on various different medications and not necessarily the normal ones. So what I'm going to do here is some tape raises. Just need to come a bit further back up the bed. So again, it's only a yellow band, so it's basically no resistance, but it is a little bit. And I'm doing this like on the morning because I want to do the thing that's most important whilst I've got the most energy physically, because then the rest of the day I will be sat down on my laptop working. I'm back to work now. The only thing I still haven't done yet is I haven't properly started doing calls, but I will start doing calls and consultations again soon. So then I'll do the same thing on the other side, because this isn't really affecting the site at all. It's literally just moving my calves and my tibs around. There's a slight bit of movement in my knee, but there's nothing like that's a concern. Literally just a bit of movement. This band, I won't progress to this for a while. What I would like to progress towards, and what I probably will, is alternating upper body and lower body. But at the minute, because this is only the second or third time like exercising, I just start real slow. Just do like basically full body, more or less every other day. At first, I want to do it every day, but have to be sensible. Something about rehab. What's also good as well is, so I've done no training more or less for my upper body, and as if by magic, my upper body hasn't just completely shriveled away. Like, it's not as muscular as it was, but I haven't like just disappeared into nothingness. If you're having any surgeries, get one of these. A grabber stick makes everything so much easier being able to reach, and get one that's as strong as possible, because there's some stuff that you don't realise how heavy they are. So like picking up that sheet, that sheet for example, if I tried to pick up the whole thing with that, it probably wouldn't work, it would bend. I could move the sheet, but I can't pick it up with it. Anyway, so calves done. Next thing, up to the knees. So with the mobilisations with this, literally all I'm doing is like just gently moving this a little bit side to side. That's it. Nothing any more exciting than that. So this, the knee specific stuff that I'm showing you, I'm doing that every time I eat, which is 4 times a day. So I'm not going to show you all of them, like as in all of the sessions. They'd be pretty boring. But this is where I'm at the minute. So last Wednesday, so today's Monday, was the first time I was allowed to bend my knee and go to 20 degrees. So then the next thing is I'm going to passively, so like not using my leg, bend my knee. So just lifting it up a little bit, and just letting it rest, just to make sure it feels okay before I start doing anything actively. And what I have been doing is, when I'm working and after doing the little mini rehab sessions, what I will do is I will put this underneath my knee and let it rest on there whilst I'm doing other stuff. So there's a little bit of flexion there whilst I'm doing it. This thing as well. So this started off, I was using a dressing gown rope to lift my leg, and then that progressed to like just a stronger bit of material, a bit like leather. And then the physios gave me one of these sticks, which is like an invisible dog collar. So that's been really handy. I'm not going to do this now because that's something I'll do whilst I'm working. I can just have it resting. So then the next things are actively lifting. So all I do is put my hand on the bed and actively lifting my leg off it. Again, because I'm doing it so often, I'm just doing like one bout of 10. Like, that's it. Super simple. But that's enough that like I feel like I've done it afterwards. And then the other things that I'll do, so I'll put the braces back on at some point during the rehab, and then I'll put the braces back on when I go outside as well. But with their range of motion, I'll put them on and just work to that. And then the next thing is some quad contractions. So this one I'm actually doing on both sides. So literally just squeezing the quads, but like to 10-20% effort. So not a maximal contraction. So up until now, the left side hadn't really been working, but the right side was. But now they both kind of just quiver rather than flexing properly. but I'm just taking my time. And since I've started doing the patella mobilizations, my right side, when I gently flex it, my patella is actually moving a bit. So that means that the tendon attachment is actually pulling my patella in the direction it should be, which is a good thing. So that's it for those bits. Super exciting, I know. So next thing, pop on the brace. So this one is set to 20 degrees. So like I said before, I aren't going to go all the way to the 45 that I can yet. I just don't want to do too much too soon. So I do have to apologise. I might accidentally flash you whilst I do this. I did accidentally flash the nurse when I went to get the staples taken out. Oh, that was a thing as well. So I was gonna put the videos of like getting the staples out and the wounds and stuff like that on these videos, but just the video of the accident happening, I got a YouTube notice to say that the video has been taken down because it violates their terms and policies of being too graphic. So if that's too graphic, then so are the others. So that's another good reason to have the stuff on the member site if you want to go and see that. And at the minute, as it stands, I still haven't set up a paywall for it. So if you wanted to get in before then, great. Anyway, so got the braces on. I typically wear these quite loose when I've just got them on to sleep because it's more just to stop me accidentally moving. But for doing this, I'm going to put them tight to make sure that they are very secure, so that they actually do offer the support that I want them to. This bottom one is not really useful whilst I'm laid in bed. So then this is where I'm going to push the range of motion a little bit further. So I'm going to push to what the maximum is in the brace there, lifting that as high as possible. So that is to 20 degrees and just holding it there and then resting. And these braces, you can see they need to be, you could almost do with being a bit tighter, but it's already kind of cutting the circulation off, so I can't really do anything about that. But so this is like pushing for the new range. I do this at the end of the other stuff rather than at the beginning, so that everything is warmed up properly. And for these, it's just 5 rather than the 10. Really exciting, isn't it? That's it. And then the last thing I'll do with this is actively lifting into that new range of that 20 degrees and almost letting my leg hang. So I've got a tiny bit of weight through my heel, but not a lot, into that new range of motion. And then actively pushing my quad into the bed. And that's it for the rehab for this leg. So, next thing, I'm going to be getting the brace on for this one. You know, it's silly. Sometimes I forget that this has happened. So, like, early, I think it was last night, I had a pillow on my legs and my laptop on the pillow. I was like, this feels weird. Like, oh yeah, I had surgery on it. That's probably why the skin doesn't feel normal. So I'm not holding my leg up with my leg at all. It's just using my arm to hold that into position there so that I can get this on. So I'm putting these on now whilst I do the other exercises. Not because I need the support, but more so that whilst I'm moving about, I don't accidentally bend something that I shouldn't bend. I just don't want to cause anything to go wrong, as I keep saying. Oh yeah, so the food stuff anyway. We've been gradually like getting into a better routine with it, because that's the thing that like I can't really sort out because I can't get to the kitchen. Even when I'm on a wheelchair, I can't get to the kitchen. So some rehab stuff for this now is, so my adductors, they're fine. They don't attach to the patella tendon. So it's actively trying to move my legs in and out, but I don't have too much range of motion in that just because it pulls on my knee. So sometimes what I do is I'll take the weight of my leg and then actively move my legs in and out, using the muscles on the inside of my thigh instead. What I would quite like to do is to be able to roll onto my front, but at the minute, even with the braces, it's too uncomfortable to do that. But that would be really handy to do, because then I'd be able to actually just like stretch my back out and stuff. That would be handy. So I also have been doing some stretches, and my range of motion here is getting better than it was. Like my hamstrings are more flexible, even just for like having to clean my feet and stuff now. But I can't do too much other stuff at the minute. So next is exercise. So again, I won't show this like every session because it'll get real old. But it's just doing little bits, and then gradually do more over time. What I would like to do is have access to something to do rows on, but I just had a light bulb moment, and that I'm going to attach the band to the end of the bed because there's not a lot of band resistance. I've got to be aware of stuff as well. So there's pee balls there, and one of them is nearly full. Don't want to knock it off onto the floor. If you're going to get pee balls or something like this, get ones with a screwable lid so that they don't ever leak. So exercises for today. Let's stick this. So I was going to do the rows over my, like attached over my feet, but that starts pulling on my knees a little bit, even with this super frail band. So instead, do it over the end of the bed. And because what you need to maintain muscle is so little compared to what you need to maintain muscle and strength, it means that I can just use this tiny amount of resistance and still get some kind of response, and I can move myself further down the bed. I'm going to change this for the other band in a second, but actually I've got a lot of DOMs in my lats, which I didn't realise. I guess it's from the wheeling. So I was going to do a bunch of exercise, but because I'm still so sore, I don't think I am, because the goal isn't to train the goal is not for my upper body to get all the good stuff from the recovery. The goal is just to keep my upper body moving. Like, although it'd be cool to come back and still be strong and muscular and whatever, like, the first goal is to be able to walk. So I'll do that. That's the first priority, and then after that, we'll make decisions. Let's see if I can get this over here. This band I think will be a bit better for resistance. Try it with two first. Hopefully this doesn't snap. There's a bit of resistance there. That's alright. Could probably double it over if I needed to. Like, this is obviously basically nothing, but it's good to just do something. And then I think this will be it for today. Given that I'm already sore, I'll save doing that stuff for another day. I know I already said that I was probably going to do stuff every other day, and normally DOMs and stuff wouldn't bother me, but DOMs tends to indicate novel stimulus. So if I take an extra day now and then have a day off and then go again, that should be fine. And to be honest, I think this video has been going on for ages at this point. So food for the rest of the day today, what I remember I'm having, so I will have shortly basically protein shake and fruit and maybe Forticip, which is basically the meal replacement that they give you in the hospital, but I've got a bunch of them. They've got a lot of protein in and a bunch of other stuff, and they're just shots to get calories in, so I'll be able to get like 1,000 calories without too much in the way of effort. So I'll do that, and then I think we're going to have chicken with a bunch of different veg, and I'll probably have rice, and then I got some fish. I'll have that, maybe with like a salad and some potatoes or something, And then I think we've got pie and some veg and some potatoes to have later. And then I will top it all up with some fruit, maybe some crisps or something, I don't know. Basically just so baseline of like whole foods, plenty of protein, plenty of fruit, plenty of veg, plenty of fibre, and then top it up with whatever I need to get my calories up to whatever I need to. So at the minute we're aiming for about 4,000 calories and trying to have like 3,000 of them from like healthy, it's not a real thing, healthy foods. That's the plan. So I think Rich must be in the shower because the door's closed through there. So I will probably, I want to train. I want to train, but I'm sore, which means I probably should just take a bit of an extra rest so my legs can recover more. If I was talking to one of my athletes, I would probably tell them to rest in this circumstance, because it's not like my upper body is not active at all, is it? So what I'm going to do is I'll get on with a bit of work, and then I'll see what time it is, because I've got a meeting at 12. It's like 8:30, 9:30 or something. See when Rach is free. I do want to do some more on the wheelchair, but there's a bunch of stuff here that obviously needs moving, and the wheelchair's in a different room, so I can't get that. I just am going to go out onto the drive and basically do laps. I want to do that before I get like washed and stuff, because the getting washed and stuff is like a hassle, basically. That's the best way to put it. So I want to get that sorted. I'm going to rest this underneath my knee when I've taken the braces off, and then go from there. That feels like a proper weight. It's 8 kilos, but it feels like more, to be honest. See, like an 8 kilo dumbbell would have been nothing, but after doing nothing, it's really heavy. Something else I was thinking about is seeing how I can do any kind of flexion here, because it's using my hip flex to a certain extent and the muscles in my middle. I could just do like crunches or something with a weight. I rarely was training abs for like flexion before. What I'll do as well actually is I'll show you how I get backwards and forwards from stuff. I don't know if I've put any clips in. I don't know if I've got any clips that I can show, but it's much easier now. Basically, I just scoot myself along wherever I need to go, and then either use this or grab the crutches or grab my foot and just lift and cross to wherever it is that I need to be. This is how you get on the commode. People hold it, so I would end up like this. Something else, like when you go to the loo, and basically you have to just sit on the commode like this, lean over to be able to clean yourself up and stuff. Super fun, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna crack on with those other bits. I've got a bunch of deliveries actually, which is mostly tablets, because I order them in bulk and then fill in some like supplement boxes. Like I've got little containers which I fill up for like 2 weeks worth at once. So I don't know if you can see the packages over there. I need to unpack them and distribute them. I will do a video at some point on stuff that I'm taking that you can buy over the counter, and inside of the members area I will do a video on stuff that I'm taking that you can't buy from inside the members area. From Rachel's just ran past and I lost my train of thought. I will do a video on the things that you can buy over the counter that I'm taking at some point, and in the members area I will either do a video or write a post on the things that you cannot buy over the counter that I am taking. But I do not want to put them just out on YouTube and stuff, because I don't want someone to just copy what I'm doing and make any bad decisions or whatnot without actually understanding what they're doing, what they're taking, why, and so on. And also, like, there's more decisions to be made about that kind of things, and I don't want anyone to break any laws or anything like that. So you're all the way over there, so I'm just touching you now, so you can see you're quite far away. Now, fortunately, you're on a very light tripod. Oops. You're on a very light tripod, so I can manage to lift you up like that. That's my CPAP machine there. And that's it for today. If I go out for a wheel, I might include that. But if not, I'll see you in the next few days. Take care.